You can just kind of watch this video over and over again, add it to your spank bank, and be able to figure out how to set it up for yourself. Welcome back, YouTube. Today we got a little scratchy voice, a little dry cough for the past couple of days. So sleep, not where I want it to be. Otherwise, I don't feel sick or anything. Just feel really tired, but voice is gonna be affected. I'm gonna sound like a pack-a-day smoker, but it is what it is. We are gonna grow, get huge, get nice and three-dimensional quads today, and yeah, so I'm not gonna let a little cough slow us down. Shouldn't be an issue. We're just gonna make sure the knees are really warmed up, so squats and other things can be pushed to the limit. Good little warm up. We'll get some working sets here, hit 3 sets to failure before we get over to the leg curls and then get into some more compound movements with some squats and stuff. Pretty simple framework. A little more than 12, so we'll bump the weight up and then get 2 more sets. Legs are feeling pretty good, so thought maybe 12 would be the number there. We're able to do more than 12 still, so we'll just max the machine out and take it for as many reps as we can here on this last set. Hamstring curls, we're gonna do 3 sets here, 2 in that kind of 8 to 12 range, and then just drop the weight a little bit, get a higher rep set to kind of just burn out the hamstrings before we move on to squats. One big thing I feel with a lot of people, hamstring exercises in general, is people don't utilize enough load. And really, those fibers really just respond really well very fast twitch, very dominant, grow really well from things like RDLs, stiff leg deadlifts, but same thing should really be applied for like seated leg curls, lying leg curls. Really try to emphasize heavier loads, more time under tension, a lot of force. True failure. Thought I could sneak one more there, but hamstrings are feeling really good. Only one day of rest. We hit them pretty hard on Saturday. Pretty funny video. Patrick, Billy, all came in. We talked about dating, Cialis pre-training, all sorts of funny stuff. So make sure to go watch that one. It was pretty funny. And then we went and ate cheeseburgers. But squat time. Smith machine squats here. During the warm-ups, just playing with a lot of foot position, trying to just make sure feet aren't too far forward, too far back, anything like that. It's really easy with the Smith machine on the setup. If you're too far forward, you'll feel kind of like you're getting a lot of knee flexion. And if you're not really experienced with it, it might cause a lot of knee issues, especially with the angle of the Smith machine too. If you're too far back, it might cause you to lean forward a little bit too much. So play with the angles, use your opportunity to warm up with lighter weights and things like that to make sure your positions are really good. Keep them really consistent because you don't really need to create a whole lot of variables, especially when the machine is one track. It's not going to come off track, so your body has to stay fixed with whatever position you put yourself into. Unlike a barbell squat where you can kind of move your feet, manipulate it, move back and forth, move more freely. That's one benefit, but with this machine, you can kind of control the variables, maybe a little bit easier for someone that's a beginner or someone that really just wants to keep things really, really consistent and minimize variables to have a consistent result. But we'll hit a little warm-up set here, see if this weight's challenging enough for today, and then just see how we want to kind of progress from there. Borderline cardio. 13 reps there, I think. So we'll add some weight, hit 2 more sets, and then move on. That felt really good. What a contrast. Just a little, well, a lot more knee warm up makes a big difference. So if you're feeling aches, pains, or just not growing, probably just need to warm up better. Warm up more methodically. A lot of walking lunges, hip airplanes, leg extensions, glute bridges, and then warming up with the actual movement that you're doing too, especially if it's the first compound movement you're doing. Makes a big, big difference. Last set here, and then we go load up the hip press. One thing I think a lot of people, sometimes even myself, don't think about with Smith machine squats versus barbell squats is your ability to load the feet slightly in front of your body and kind of lean back into it so you can get a really quad dominated squat position without the risk of falling on your ass. Hip pressing or leg pressing, whatever you want to call it, we're focused on maximizing range of motion, isolating the quads, getting as much depth and knee flexion as possible. So every single rep, I'm focused on my calf touching my hamstring and then pushing back up to full extension. It's an opportunity to really load the quads without really loading your spine. It's a great way to gauge failure is not, oh, this is feeling hard, but you'll notice the acceleration slows down through the movement, especially through the concentric or positive phase. You'll find that you start going a lot slower to finish the repetition, especially if you're really focused on an experience with tempo work. If you're doing like a 3-second eccentric, 2-second concentric, then once that concentric starts feeling like 3 seconds or 4 seconds, then it might be a good point to say, okay, that's near failure. The same can be true if you're focused on tempo and you're going really slow, eccentrically, concentrically. Once you have that desire to start speeding up, that's a good cue that you're probably getting close to failure as well. One more set here, and then we'll get some Bulgarians. Ooh, I don't even really want to talk about it. Just want to get it done. That dismount might have been the most athletic thing I've done all year. Just getting out of the way. glutes and lower back, kind of the biggest deterrent on this one. So what we're gonna do, we only have one more set of these, but we're gonna kind of do a little bit of a drop set, quite literally. So do as many as we can with the weight, drop the weight, and then just pump it out body weight. You're gonna hate this. You always think you're going to get more body weight ones, but you're so fatigued when you're done with the weight. No. That's all I can say. No.
When I'm awake, you always resting. And when they call you an answer, you are on request. I'm doing class, sitting on my session. Other niggas situations, they are all repressed. That's why I never follow y'all suggestions. I just always stay alone. I run the game, stupid motherfuckers. See all this money for my own, I don't say they want guys. If you know it good, but you can turn it better. Cause you the type of loser, and I'm a block it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. You can run and tell you one day I'm
Oh. If you don't have a lying hamstring curl like me, they're a great variation. Honestly, it's a little tricky because foot strength's got to be there. Adductors are a little bit more engaged. Sometimes it's harder to control the hip position. Your hip kind of wants to slide up a little bit. Try to kind of realign your pelvis, but better than nothing, and really kind of just a great tool to be able to strengthen that hamstring in a slightly different dynamic with that end range position compared to doing like seated leg curls. So no more excuses. You don't have a hamstring curl, just really get really good at this, and you can just kind of watch this video over and over again, add it to your spank bank, and be able to figure out how to set it up for yourself. So set up here, I like to put my knees right on the end of the bench, grab the dumbbell with the toes, and then just lean forward. And that pretty much gets you in the position to get started. You might have to situate the dumbbell a little bit, but just squeeze your adductors the whole time so you can have a stable base and make sure that you're pulling equally with both hamstrings. Oh. Ouch. We're just gonna knock out some sets here. Again, kind of just more some pelvis maintenance. Obviously want to grow the adductors some, but you know, really my main priority here is just keeping everything balanced, healthy, and then obviously lower body thickness attributed to the adductors is a plus. I won't bore you with the details. We're gonna knock out 2 more sets here to failure. Just get a good adductor pump, and then we'll get out of here. Oh. Quads, main emphasis today, main focus. So a lot of leg extensions, squats, hip presses. Got into some Bulgarians, which I just am tricking myself into loving because it's easier to love than to hate. It's a good life lesson for you. But after that, just a lot of hamstring work, some seated curls, lying dumbbell curls, which I'm, again, getting the hang of. It's not as good as a lying hamstring curl machine, but it still hits pretty different compared to a seated leg curl, so I like the combination. And then just finishing off with some adductors. What you didn't see was just my typical warm-up routine, some calf work, just things to get the knees kind of warmed up, fired up before we got into the bulk of the work. Huge difference today. Going heavier, getting more weight, getting more reps, all of that stuff with less knee pain. So that is a great sign. Inflammation came down a little bit. Soreness, stiffness in the knee, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, voice is still a little scratchy, losing the voice and preserving it as much as we can. So I'm going to cut this short. Bo Alexander, Adapt Fitness, Dallas, Texas. And